Yep, I started watching the first 10 seconds of this video, and I already know it's gonna be a fucking banger. If you don't believe me, just wait 5 seconds.
Fair. They're not paid a lot, but they don't do a lot.
What do you think, fair or unfair?
Unfair.
Would you not say that on average men are stronger and faster than women?
No, definitely not.
Unfair. It represents the patriarchy.
Bro, why is that such a hard thing for them to, like... I swear I'm about to just start going around saying I can get pregnant and I can have periods and I'm more nurturing and I'm more sympathetic and I'm more caring and I'm more beautiful, and I'm about to just start saying shit like that, because the fact that they can't fucking give men the credit where fucking credit's due, and we can give credit to women whenever credit's fucking due is just mind-boggling, man.
Patriarchal society that has been long entrenched in our colonised countries.
Madam, I see the look of disdain on your face.
I don't think you should go around calling women weak.
Physically weaker and slower, on average.
Maybe instead of saying we're weaker, maybe just not as good at sport. Or
Why not say weaker? It's true.
you should choose your words wisely, because I feel like
I think you shouldn't be as sensitive.
it's totally
Right,
unfair.
yeah.
Women do just as much as the work, so why shouldn't they be paid just as much?
We've spoken to a lot of people today who just...
Because for one, it's about views. Nobody wants to watch y'all play sports because you're not the most athletic. Sorry to tell you, but that's how it fucking is. Like, it's not fucking rocket science. And y'all even... And plus, men want to watch men play sports. Women don't want to watch women play sports. Who the fuck is going to watch y'all play sports? Why do we have to watch y'all play sports? Bill Burr has an excellent bit on that. Just fucking ignore them. They don't know nothing. Just calm down, bro. Just calm down.
aren't interested in watching
And before y'all get mad because I said they don't know nothing, they don't know nothing about this. They know shit, obviously.
AFLW, just aren't interested in watching AFLW because the women are worse at the sport than the men. Ladies and gents, welcome back to another episode of Common Ground Conversations, where we ask the important but controversial questions and then try to find common ground. In today's episode, it is Grand Final Parade Day, day before Grand Final, AFL, and we're here to ask the question, women paid less in sport, fair or unfair? Scratch that, let's see what people have to say. Alright, ladies and gents, I'm going to cut to the chase and come out swinging in today's episode, so buckle up, you've been warned. Here is my position, claim by claim. Claim number one, women on average are physically slower and weaker than men. To verify this, we could defer to a little bit of common sense, but I know some of you aren't fans.
I hate common sense.
So instead, let's defer to the litany of scientific papers that unequivocally demonstrate a significant sex-based performance difference along these two key metrics, speed and strength. Claim number two, women are worse than men at virtually every single sport where speed and strength are important. To verify this, we could A, just look at a couple of minutes of these sports, B, compare the world records held by men and women, or even just boys and women, or C, look at a couple of case studies. Take, for example, the Williams sisters being beaten back-to-back 6-1 and 6-2 by the 203rd ranked men's tennis player at the time, or the Matildas, the Australian women's soccer team, being beaten 7-0 by a local under-15 boys team. 7-0. Are you really going to make the claim that women's soccer teams are as good as the men's? Claim number three, a follow-on.
It's just like, why are they so delusional? Like, yes, you guys are amazing at your sport for your gender, but why is it so fucking hard to just admit that men are fucking better? It should be common fucking sense, like you said. Serena Williams even, they was making like big news about her, about how, if she went against a man that she would lose, or that she would win because she's just so fucking amazing. And then she said openly, like, no, that's not, I don't even want to try that. Like, that's just ignorant.
From the first two, women do not deserve equal pay in sports because they aren't equally good at sports. On average,
it's sad, but like, if you're getting in the career, you should fucking assume that, man. Like, you don't get that many views, you don't get that many sponsors, you aren't that famous, no one really talking about you. What the fuck? Like, how are y'all mad about that?
Majority of sports, women are simply inferior athletes compared to men.
Finally, like, that'd be like me being mad because I can't start an OnlyFans. Like, I wish I could. I wish that I could just fucking hop on that train and be a millionaire overnight. Like, a lot of y'all can, but I know I can't. Am I mad about that? No. You know why? Because I got sense. Common sense. Actually, uncommon sense, since nobody fucking has it.
Exception to what I've said is if the athlete brings with them a significant amount of attention to the sport. In such a case, they deserve to be rewarded accordingly because ultimately that attention brings with it more revenue by way of ticket sales and advertising dollars. And a good example of this is the case of Ronda Rousey and the UFC. Some of the top level male fighters no doubt were objectively better at the sport in that they could have beaten her in a fight, but not as many people wanted to watch them. The male fighters weren't as interesting, they didn't have as much of a personal brand to bring to the table and bargain with, and as such they weren't deserving of the pay that Rousey received. So to summarize, similar to the argument I made in our gender pay gap video, women aren't paid less simply because they're women or because of the patriarchy. Women are deservingly paid less in sports because they're on average slower, weaker, and worse at the sport. People who claim otherwise, despite the clear sex-based difference in performance, tend to be those new age sexists that fight for equality when really what they want is special treatment, usually because they are a woman. Having laid out those 4 claims, all of the above applies to Australian rules football or the AFL and the AFLW leagues. The men are stronger, faster, better at the sport, and as a consequence, there are more viewers of the men's league as well as more ticket sales and advertising dollars. As such, as far as I'm concerned, the men are deservingly paid more, the women deservingly paid less. Now, there are a couple of reasonable counterpoints made by people I speak with throughout.
It's so sad that we have to go over this, bro. He's been going over for like 3 minutes, just common sense.
Today's episode that
stuff we should know from just being born. We should just know this, but yeah, let's spend 3 minutes talking about it.
Worth looking out for, including 1, that the women's league is younger than the men's league. Maybe it just needs time to grow or needs more funding to get the ball rolling. And 2, perhaps the AFLW base salaries ought to be increased in order.
Dude, the WNBA hasn't made like a profit since it came out. The NBA has literally been paying money to keep it afloat, just to keep the fucking the NBA is losing money just to make the WNBA a thing. And then the women want to complain about it because they aren't getting paid enough. Like, what the fuck do y'all want?
Be increased in order to allow the elite level women to play the sport full time, as opposed to also juggling other work to make ends meet. The question here then becomes who pays and where does the money come from? Is it siphoned off from the revenue brought in by the men's teams? And if so, is that fair? You tell me. So what do you think? Women paid less in sport, fair or unfair? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'll be reading all of them. I'd love to hear whether you agree with me or not, and also why. So without further ado, let's lock into conversation number 1 of the day. Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy.
Unfair.
And tell me why.
It represents the patriarchal society that has been long entrenched in our colonised country, that's English colonised. Unfortunately, it's been happening for far too long. So
if their country was colonized, it was colonized by a patriarchy, and it was a patriarchy already. Most civilizations have always been a fucking patriarchy. Almost, I don't, there's probably what, like fucking 5 that were matriarchies and they all got taken out because of patriarchies. You talk shit on the patriarchy, but you wouldn't have literally nothing that you fucking have without it.
The momentum is going to have to keep up, and we're going to have to keep fighting for it, because if the establishment keep getting their way, it's just going to continue to happen. And it truly represents, obviously, that women don't get paid as much as most men in most fields, so it's actually just a representation of general society and the patriarchal nature of it.
Do you think that's, like, why do you think then women are...
Just ask her what jobs do women get paid less in? Oh, man, they just say shit. They don't even have nothing to back it up. They just say shit.
Paid less.
Like, if y'all watch any of my videos, you know that I literally will sit here and go back on my word in the middle of a sentence if I just think about it. That's because I'm open-minded and I don't mind being wrong. And that's why I ask y'all all the time to comment down below, because I'm always the one I've always been the type to ask questions. Like, if I don't know something, I'm gonna ask a fucking question. It's so ignorant how scared people are to ask questions. Like, they just want to feel like they know everything whenever nobody does.
Let's keep it to sports for the moment.
Okay, yeah.
Why do you think they're paid less, say, for example, in the AFL?
Because they don't have as much pull, like they just don't have the same profile. So you look at players like Buddy Franklin, for example. The reason why the AFL can make money off him is marketable.
Yeah.
So it's about having a marketable product, and truly it's just about business now. So sport is sort of...
Bro, if that is a reason, then females should be more wealthy athletes, bro. If they want marketable, females are the #1 consumers. They buy 2 to 3 times as much. I don't remember if it's 2 to 3 times as much off of just seeing something advertised. That's why all the fucking ads on YouTube and this and that are all catered towards women. That's why we're going down this fucking women shit. It don't work in an athlete because there's not that many females that want to be a fucking athlete. So what are all these sports companies gonna advertise on these women? Not swimsuits. What are they? They ain't gonna advertise nothing. And if they're gonna advertise swimsuits, they're gonna get a fucking model. There's nothing marketable about a fucking female in sports. I mean, there is, but the demographic that they're marketing to is not that big.
You know, really gone to more business ever since it's been made professional back in the 80s. So yeah, it's pretty much deeply entrenched in that patriarchal nature of how things are run.
Why is that patriarchal?
Simply because I just think it's, you know, they all go to the same universities, they all get, you know, brought up the same way. It's very much deeply entrenched in the culture of some private school boys' colleges, and then they go on to do, you know, university, and then they go on to these high paid positions as CEOs, and it's all just, yeah, that's just their nature, that's the way they think, the way they eat, the way they breathe.
So yeah, why? So let's say, for example, let's take Buddy Franklin as an example, but there are other high-profile players.
Yeah.
If they're more marketable, my sense is that if they bring more value to the team and to the game in by way of bringing more people to the sport or to the games, and then also attracting advertisers who are willing to pay more for that attention from the customers, from the end customers, isn't it fair that they be rewarded for being marketable?
Oh, 100%, be rewarded, but I think they can start with the base level and then you could get like other entitlements above that. And I just think the base level that women begin in sport, and not just AFL, is probably, it can be brought up a little bit. And then other incentive programs around, you know, being more marketable, and like it's almost like a sales thing, isn't it? Like if they make more sales, they should get more.
Yeah,
incentive.
exactly. So then, which is why I'm kind of curious, if we take Buddy Franklin, when we take, you know, an AFLW player who isn't very well known, isn't it fair that they get paid different?
Well, fair is probably not the word. I think.
Why? What would you say?
Well, in some ways, if they're not bringing in the sales, then fine, the end pay would be less to women as opposed to Buddy. But I just think that.
And that's why I would say it's fair. But you would say it's still unfair.
Well,
I guess that's a part of your position I don't quite understand.
Yeah, it's okay. So it's the word fair, equitable. I don't know. Like I just think that part of it's fair. That if you can increase sales and you know.
Like, yeah, in money wise, yeah, it's fair, but in my feelings, no, that's not fair at all. It's such a dumb argument to even have, man. Like, why? Nobody wants to watch someone do something mediocre. Like, I mean, obviously people like football and shit, but that's because there's like they're wanting to see the top prospects coming up to the NFL and shit. I don't know. I don't really watch sports like that. But I know that motherfuckers like LeBron, Tom Brady, Messi, fucking all the way down the line to like Babe Ruth, fucking Muhammad Ali. All these motherfuckers are famous because they did shit that no other man fucking could do. If these women could do shit that no other fucking man could do, they'd have more eyes on them. Nobody wants to watch a fucking 3-point all game, man. Like, they want to see dunks. They want to see insane shots. They want to see crazy footwork. They want to see insane knockouts, which is why Ronda Rousey blew the fuck up. Like, it's such a bitter and childish thing to even care about. It should just be like, yeah, well, they still make money. They still make more money than most people that work at 9 to 5. Why do they need millions? They don't. But yeah, if y'all like the video, comment down below. Like I said, I'm all ears if you want to argue with anything, or if you want to talk about anything, about any opinions on this and that. Like the video, please, so I can get pushed out to the fucking YouTube algorithm more, and give me a subscribe because your boy needs them. With that being said, deuces.
Put a nigga on and I knock a nigga off. Make my own way, niggas know that I'm a boss. 10, 20, 30, yeah, had them bitches lost. Have you ever seen a bundle, baby girl, for assault? I'm a big stepper, I rep for my section. Chasing that bag and applying that pressure. Niggas be lying and capping and flexing. If it ain't about money, don't come this direct.